As the chapter continues, we see Musashi sitting on his knees, welcoming Motobe's challenge. On the other hand, Motobe calmly pulls out a cigarette container from his pocket and starts smoking one. Tokugawa, standing in the middle of the arena, urges Motobe not to do such a thing, but Musashi remains silent, observing Motobe's behavior. Motobe then grabs a liquor bottle and walks towards Musashi. When he reaches him, he sits down and offers Musashi a cigarette, calling it a pipe, the term it might have been known by in Musashi's era. Musashi, unfamiliar with modern terms, takes a cigarette from the container, smells it, then sniffs the liquor bottle. He remarks that the tobacco in the cigarette is unsmokable, except for the one Motobe is currently smoking. Musashi also notices that the liquor bottle is laced with poison, identifying the type of poison just by its scent. This revelation surprises even the spectators. Motobe praises Musashi for his ability to see through his tricks so effortlessly. He acknowledges that, despite his careful planning, Musashi has easily countered his every move. Motobe reflects on his long career, remarking that at this late stage, he's finally seeing the light of day. In a sudden move, Motobe spits the cigarette he was smoking at Musashi, who catches it with ease. Musashi takes a puff and notes that the pleasant fumes signal the resumption of their match. In an instant, Motobe attacks Musashi with the liquor bottle. Even though Musashi holds his sword ready, Motobe smashes the bottle into Musashi's face, then follows up by smashing the cigarette container into Musashi's face again, causing him to fall to the ground. Without hesitation, Motobe throws smoke bombs, creating a thick cloud in the arena. The spectators are stunned by Motobe's use of explosives, and Tokugawa runs for cover. Amidst the smoke, Baki, who is among the spectators, silently urges Motobe to use whatever means necessary, but to make sure he comes back alive. Motobe uses a meteor hammer to pull Musashi's sword from the smoke. He expects Musashi to fiercely protect his weapon, but Musashi allows it to be taken too easily. As Motobe waits for Musashi to emerge from the smoke, he reflects on how Musashi didn't cling to his sword, a sign that something was amiss. Suddenly, Musashi appears, coughing and commenting on the nostalgia of the smoke bombs, saying it has been a long time since he smelled them. Musashi then mentions that the Achilles tendon technique Motobe used was quite effective, but Motobe is analyzing the time it took Musashi to recover from the smoke, calculating that it took 36 seconds, and Musashi seems relatively unscathed. Musashi asks Motobe how he intends to atone for the wound he inflicted on Musashi's face, but Motobe dismisses the sword as irrelevant, realizing that the distance between him and Musashi is too great. Motobe throws the sword back to Musashi, who catches it with a single hand, impressing the spectators with his reflexes. Motobe notes that all he has left is the sheath, which he can't use as a weapon. He tosses the sheath to Musashi, who catches it in a horizontal position, but as the sheath connects with the sword, it explodes, causing Musashi to lose his balance. Taking advantage of this moment, Motobe launches an attack with the meteor hammer, landing a devastating blow to Musashi's face, hitting the same spot he wounded earlier. As Motobe rapidly spins the meteor hammer, he strikes Musashi again on the same spot, causing Musashi to spit blood and look upward in calm defiance. Musashi, unfazed by the pain, spins his finger in the wound and notes that his back teeth are loosened due to Motobe's strikes. He recalls a man named Shishido, who wielded a kusarigama, but notes that he never let Shishido touch the weight. However, Motobe managed to do what Shishido could not, earning Musashi's recognition for this extraordinary feat. Motobe ties the meteor hammer around Musashi's sword, but as he tries to pull it, he finds it impossible, even though Musashi is holding the sword effortlessly. Baki, observing closely, notices that Musashi's grip is strengthened by his ring and little fingers. Musashi swiftly pulls his blade backward, breaking the chain of the meteor hammer and causing Motobe to lose his balance. Musashi then asks Motobe how he plans to atone for the grievous wound on his face and offers him 3 choices, saying the decision is his. After a brief moment of thought, Motobe replies that he would choose old age. Musashi, surprised by the unexpected answer, remarks that if Motobe wishes for a long life, he should live quietly, and questions why he would risk his life in a place like this. Motobe responds that the way of the warrior is found alongside death, and that the way of the warrior has evolved. He explains that it's no longer about living in service to a lord, but rather about living to protect one's security and the well-being of others. Motobe then pulls out a small metal bar from his jacket, which transforms into a short spear. He takes a stance and says that survival has become the warrior's path. Musashi, intrigued, asks if Motobe knows how to use the weapon, to which Motobe humbly admits that his spear skills are far inferior to Musashi's sword skills. Nevertheless, Motobe launches an attack, but Musashi cuts the spear in a single strike. Undeterred, Motobe counterattacks with a powerful kick to Musashi's chin, then follows up by striking Musashi's wounded face with brass knuckles, causing Musashi to fall to his knees. Motobe reflects that their combat skills have grown far stronger since the days of the Sengoku period. Suddenly, Musashi delivers a powerful slash to Motobe's midsection, causing him to sit back on his knees, dizzy from the blow. Musashi calmly remarks that Motobe's bundled hand strikes served as a stimulant, and if Motobe had struck with his bare hand, Musashi might still be unconscious. Musashi then asks if Motobe is wearing chainmail, a type of armor made of interlocking metal rings. As Motobe sits on his knees, Musashi questions whether Motobe truly believed that wearing chainmail would prevent him from being cut. In the crowd, Jack recalls his own fight with Motobe and realizes that his teeth were shattered because Motobe was wearing chainmail. Musashi, examining Motobe's protective gear, notes that he can cut an opponent with just the back of his blade, and that he has taken many lives with only a wooden sword. Musashi then strikes Motobe's hand, which is covered with ample armor, declaring that the end is near. Motobe attempts a counterattack with a knife, but Musashi swiftly cuts both of Motobe's legs, causing him to fall to the ground. Musashi then delivers a deep cut to Motobe's trapezius muscle. Just as Musashi is about to finish him, Baki interrupts, shouting that the match is over and urging them to stop. Musashi, recognizing Baki, hesitates, but Motobe seizes the moment, headbutting Musashi and grabbing him by the neck with his broken hand. The spectators are shocked to see Motobe manage to choke Musashi using an open choke technique. Musashi, weakened, loosens his grip on his sword, and the crowd watches in suspense, wondering what will happen next. In the final panel, the match concludes with Motobe kneeling and Musashi lying on the ground, unconscious. Tokugawa is astonished by the outcome of the match. Baki, meanwhile, has mixed emotions, pondering what to do now that he has been protected. The spectators erupt in applause as Musashi slowly regains consciousness. Sitting in front of Motobe, Musashi admits defeat, but Motobe questions how many times Musashi actually cut him. Musashi explains that there is a significant difference between making someone think they've been cut and actually cutting them down. Motobe acknowledges that Musashi only saw him as an opponent, not as a formidable enemy, and that Musashi's blade struck only above his armor. Motobe reflects on the match, noting that Musashi was constantly refining his technique throughout the fight, and that it was a match fought under the assumption that he would return alive. Motobe admits that he took advantage of that leniency, but couldn't become someone who could genuinely threaten Musashi's life. He then asks Musashi if he wants to see what comes next. However, Musashi abruptly stands up, pulls his sword from Motobe's trapezius muscle, and walks toward the exit, thanking Motobe for the match and declaring him the victor. This fight between Musashi and Motobe was not just a battle of physical strength, but also a profound exploration of the warrior's spirit and the evolution of combat. Motobe's cunning use of modern techniques and tools challenged Musashi in ways he had never faced before. Despite Motobe's injuries, his unyielding spirit allowed him to achieve something extraordinary, earning the respect and acknowledgement of Musashi, a legendary swordsman from another era. As the spectators applauded the match, it was clear that both men had reached new heights in their understanding of combat. Musashi's recognition of Motobe's techniques and Motobe's acknowledgement of Musashi's unmatched skill left an indelible mark on everyone who witnessed the fight. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to like it, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.